Hi, my name is Derek Lewis, and I'm the Executive Director for Greenville First Steps, and I'm excited that I made it to this round of the TED Talk submissions. What I hope to share at the TED Conference is an idea that there are little things that families can do every day to help children enter school ready to learn. And what's important to me is that those little things can be done in any home, and they don't require huge expenses, they don't require incredible programs or videos. They're just small things any family can do. What I hope people walk away with as their big idea is that those little things can really transform our community, and that there are things that if we have children in our lives or in our communities that we can touch, we can change this community within one generation. The idea I had was to turn that into a narrative, so you're going to get a little bit of that story. My hope was that the talk would be about 10 minutes long, and that behind me on the projection screens there would be images of children participating in these activities that would just kind of progress through like a slideshow. So here we go. There's a street not too far from here, and it's a densely populated street with a whole lot of 2-bedroom cinder block homes. It may not be a street where any of us call home, but there's something happening there that's going to impact all of us. A little over a year ago, a young couple came home from the hospital with their first baby, Gabby. A couple of doors down, Michael, another baby, born on almost the same day, comes home to his parents. These are two families in similar circumstances, trying to just make ends meet, living on this same street. The thing is, we don't know a lot about these families, but there are a couple of things happening in these homes that will help us predict right now, at 12 months of age, that one of these kids will graduate from high school and one of them won't. And what we want to see is that there are things happening right now that are setting them on a path that's going to impact 1, 2, maybe 3 generations of families because of some decisions that are being made. The day is done, and Gabby and Michael's dad, who both work at the factory, are walking home from work. They've talked about the day, and as they get to their respective doors, the door is opened by the mom, who just hands the baby off to the dad and then runs into the kitchen to finish fixing dinner. Gabby and Michael's dad both are exhausted from the day, and right here's where something different happens. Gabby's dad comes into the living room, he sits down, and the first thing he does is he pulls out this book from beside the couch, and it's a book about a little blue tractor, and Gabby and her dad sit and read this book about this tractor zipping along the countryside. A couple of doors down, Michael's dad, just as tired, decides that that's just not something they're going to do. They've got books in their home as well. They came from a grocery store or churches. Most families on the street have 2 or 3 books. Michael's books are somewhere in the house, but they're not in the living room. So instead, Michael's given some toys to play with, and Michael's dad sits on the couch and watches television. Right here, there's something significant happening. If Gabby's dad continues to read to her every day when she comes home from work, for 15 minutes, then Gabby will enter school being exposed to 1 to 2 million more words than Michael will by not being read to for 15 minutes. The thing that's important about that is that it has nothing to do with Michael's parents' vocabulary or with Gabby's parents' vocabulary. It has to do with the repetition of those words in those books. If this trend continues for 4 years, when Gabby enters school, she will have a larger vocabulary herself at 5 years of age than Michael's parents do now. So we're talking about a generational change that's nothing but reading books to kids.